Hey people, I wanted to talk supply and demand. Every month I get a lot of people that will send me a link to their clothing line and say, hey, what do you think? If you've done that or you're still going to do that in the future after you watch this video, that's cool, but it's really hard for me to give you a real assessment just at looking at your website. At the same time, not really knowing you, it's tough for me to be quite candid about things that need to change. So obviously being in and around working professionally in fashion for 13 years, typically I could pick off quite a few things that I think a business needs to change and work on. For the most part, I think one element that I definitely want to bring on this video is the basic ideals of supply and demand. Specifically what I'm talking about is sometimes your designs suck, guys. I mean, sometimes they're really bad. When I say that though, obviously I have my filters and things that I think are sellable, but I mean, I probably have a much stronger reference since I've worked for companies designing the product that take to market. Now, having said that, there's still a lot of brands out there that I have no idea how they sell. You know, so I'm not sitting here to tell you that I'm the end-all be-all for any of my videos. If you want, you could take them all by the wayside. But what I just want to say is, at the same time where I'm saying there's a lot of whack stuff that I'm seeing from what people are sending me. Like, if you get a comment from me where I say your brand is solid or it looks really good, I don't have to say that. So I'm being really serious when I tell you, if the few, maybe 1 out of 10 brands that show me something original, if I comment on the positive side of that, then that's real talk. And again, having said that, there's brands that exist. I don't want to name drop. You know, I have friends that work at a lot of brands that I personally would never wear, but they sell. So on the business side of things, I acknowledge, I give the utmost respect to them as a business, if that makes sense. The principle of supply and demand within that context is you gotta bring something to the market that moves. And if I feel like if you've made too much of it and all of it's not moving, there's a couple things that could be wrong with the motor still. It could be marketing. It could be like you're not exposing it to a big enough reach. And I have tons of videos on marketing. Almost what I want to say for that whole subject is, yes, it's very tough. Number two, I don't have a magic bullet. I can give you my ideas on different things you can work on, but it's all very hard work because it's getting harder and harder to make noise or create an impact with so many different outlets and different things coming in social media and technology. You are competing with a lot of noise to make noise with your own brand. So if all things were equal, you know, and you had the correct marketing, now with that control in the science experiment, you know, would your brand sell more than the one that's next to it? I don't know. But I do feel a lot of times if the designs are not moving, it's usually design. It's usually a combination of design and marketing. So you need to supply what there is a demand for. A lot of times in fashion, you are creating that demand with your product. But think about the challenge of that. Just hearing it, like, think about the challenge of creating a pocket. People find the pocket, find the need, and they fill it. That's what they do as entrepreneurs. With fashion, you are creating a demand where you say to the consumer, hey, you really need this, or you know, you really want this. You know, you want this t-shirt, you want this snapback hat in your life. It's very challenging if you think about it from an entrepreneurial standpoint. It's a very strong element, and as it is, there's literally millions of brands out there. There's millions of brands for a consumer to choose from. For a consumer and a retailer and a buyer to choose from. They're inundated. I think you really got to be creative about the way you chase down your customer, because before it's like create product, make commercials, and people will buy it. So to kind of sum up my idea for this video, I just want to say that you need to supply something that there is a demand for. Or you need to create a supply and create the demand for it. It's a very challenging concept, and that can be an answer to why your brand is not moving. Everyone that emails me like, hey, I've had my brand for a year, 2 years, 3 years on the side, or whatever you're doing. I mean, number one, I want to say I need to look into the engine to see why the car isn't moving. I really need to take a look at it. Off the bat, I'll say a lot of the designs are whack. You gotta come to the market with something really dope that will create a demand for it. You gotta come with a look, a feeling, a notion, something that catches in order to create the supply and the demand for your fashion brand. Hope that helps. Anything to add to the conversation, any links, drop them down below. Add me on Twitter and Instagram. You want to hit me up one-on-one /designer Jon Phenom. See you guys on the next one. Thanks for clicking on it. Peace.